please welcome to the stage Miss Deni Robinson.
My heart is on fire this morning. Whew, you beautiful people. Every morning when I wake up, I say thank you 7 times, and I would recommend that you do that as well. And I think of all the things that I'm thankful for. And today I am thankful, so thankful to be here with you, some of the most powerful women in network marketing and all of these men as well. And I'm honored and thrilled to share this stage with these remarkable women and tell you a little bit about my story and about my passion. So this is my amazing family. And if you've ever questioned my why, well, you're looking at it. I have 4 amazing children and 4 beautiful grandchildren. And, oh, I'm sorry. What slide are we still? Oh, sorry. And can you just go back to my family? And this is a picture of us. We were all in Hawaii a few months ago for a week that was paid by for my company, and it was the time of our life. My founder has said, when you make money, make memories. And this is what it's all about to me, making memories. And I would move heaven and earth for those people that you see right there. So today and the last few days, have you guys just gotten the most amazing notes? Absolutely. But I would recommend that you don't go home and let those notes be shelf help. All right? And I also would recommend that you don't start to compare your chapter 1 to the chapter 20s that you have seen up here. Don't do it. Run your own race, because we all started there. All of us started with a starter kit, and I promise you, even the top leaders that you've seen up here on this stage, people didn't pop out of the box like a jack in the box, right? We all still had to do the steps and go through the ranks. The other thing I would recommend is, as these notes you are taking, how many success stories do you need to hear before you decide to write your own? So I would recommend that you all think to yourself, who am I in this moment? And who do I hope to become this weekend? I hope that this weekend is a game changer for you. I hope that you can look back in 6 months, 9 months, and a year and go, there was some person that I identified with, and that made a difference, because big decisions happen at big events. The other thing I would recommend is, I will tell you, you can read as many books as you would like to on learning how to swim, but at some time you're going to have to jump in. And the best teacher you're ever going to find is doing the steps. So again, every single day, circle, highlight the things that have made a difference for you, and go to work and put them into use in your life. All right. We all have a past. Does everyone have a past in here? First thing I would recommend to you is, the only reason you want to look behind you is to look how good you look in the mirror, or to see how far you have come, all right? And again, I'm not going to embellish on this, but many of us, again, we look at these beautiful people who've been up here on stage, and we think, well, they've just always had it easy. But as you have heard, and these stories have touched my soul, that is not the way it was. And very quickly, because I don't dwell on the past, because every bump and bruise has gotten me where I am today. And where you are today is based on decisions that you made 5, 10, and 15 years ago. But where you will be in 5 and 10 years from now is based on decisions you will make today. And not just the decisions, but the action steps that you will take. So a little bit about me. I'm just a country girl from Montana, and I grew up roping and riding, and we were taught to work. My dad grew up in the Great Depression, and we were raised with use it up, wear it out, make or do without. And I was picking strawberries by age 12. I had to buy my own toothpaste by then. By age 14, I was doing riding lessons. I had to start buying all my own clothes. By the time I was 15 and 16, I was working in a law office. But also about that time, my little sister, we have 7 children in our family, was killed in a car accident. At 16, my boyfriend was in a car accident and was a quadriplegic. I took 2 years of high school in one so I could graduate as a junior. So I have lived through some hard stuff in my life. Went to college for 2 years. Tom and I got married before we were 19 years of age, all right? We had our first child before we were 20. And I went on out to college with, my parents dropped me off and said bye-bye because my dad had said, Deni, you can do it. We were raised to believe that that which you persist in doing becomes easier, not because the nature of the task has changed, but because your ability to do so has increased. Right, Daddy? Would my dad please stand up? We were raised to work and to be self-sufficient and motivated. And I was raised to believe you can do, be, and have anything you want if you're willing to work for it. I was raised to believe, pray like it's all up to God and work like it's all up to you. And, God can move mountains, but don't be surprised if he hands you a shovel and a pickaxe. Okay, you guys? And so you are going to have to go to work. And so again, we all have a past, but do not let your past define you. You have heard stories of amazing things. These women could have stayed there, but they decided at some point that I've had enough, and that is not where I'm going to stay. So, as you continue your business, I have done this now at 20 years of age. Tom and I were married. Tom worked Highline Construction. I actually got into direct sales. And I had my first company car out of a very small little town in Wyoming. And because I went to a meeting, I found out that managers drove company cars, and within 2 months I had my first car. And again, I don't know, I've been in that small town, I thought, how could I have thought I could do that? But I heard people talk about ideas, and I used to go friend finding. I would knock on doors, I would put a display in the back of my van, and I would meet people. This is relationship marketing. This is based on meeting friends. And my dear sweet mother, you know what? We were raised, there was no stranger danger in our household. A stranger was simply a friend you hadn't met yet. Isn't that a great way, you guys? All you have to do in this business is make friends. Be more interested than interesting. Ask enough questions, and they will ask questions about what you do as well. So again, as I've done this for a long time, I've learned that as you bring people into your business, you're going to have a bunch of people. But I gauge people in four different ways. They're either consumers, connectors, builders, or leaders. And of course, we want all of them in our business. To me, a consumer is either someone who's a preferred customer or someone who actually joins the company as an associate who simply buys the product, for the best value. And then there are connectors. Now, connectors are the life of the party. And you want to get under a connector just as quickly as you can, because sometimes connectors are not always good at follow-up. But again, if you want to be a professional in this industry, who wants to be a professional? Good. Because an amateur looks at a person, a new associate, as, a destination. I have sponsored this new person, right? In actuality, a professional, which all of you are, looks at that person as a doorway and quickly opens the doorway as quickly as they can so they can exponentially increase their warm market. Some of my biggest leaders have been on my 10th and 12th level, all right? But unless you open the door and keep doing the three-way calls and doing the work, you might never find them. Then there are builders. Builders are the ones who I see who quickly come in the business and go, I want to do this. They're doing everything I ask them to do. They're doing the action steps. They're getting people on the phone three-way calls, and they're listening to the team calls. Again, they're doing the steps, doing the time, putting in the work. Then there are leaders. Now, to me, leaders are few and far between. They're kind of like eagles, right? Sometimes a leader is someone who's had previous network marketing experience or who has large networks of people. But they are the ones who often come in and go, Deni, with or without you, I'm going to do this thing. And they just go to work. Now, the other thing that I often tell people is I listen with my eyes, not my ears. Because as you have heard this weekend, There's so many people who come in and say, you are never going to have to sponsor another person. I am going to make you so much money. And then quickly they go into the witness protection plan, right? And so again, I listen with my eyes, I watch what they do, and I kind of gauge my time with them according to this. And that's why I always plug people into a system, because personalities are not duplicatable, but systems are. So, success tracker. I love having a success tracker. I actually also have coaching forms that we do, because instead of spending a half an hour with someone, having them telling you my business isn't growing, my checks aren't growing, I can quickly pinpoint exactly by their activities what is happening in their organization. Now, of course, when I get someone started, I'm always going to ask them what their goals are, right? To me, goals are simply activities. Now, here is my question for you. Every single day, are you working above the line or below the line? Very important thing. I've got people in here who I often ask them, are you being active or are you being productive? It's very easy to confuse movement with achievement, right? We can all be busy being busy. What are you being busy about? So if you want to have money in your ATM at the end of the week, you've got to be doing activities that matter every single day. What are activities that matter in our organizations and how we build a business? We get paid on, of course, recruiting. So it's all about the contacting and inviting, presenting the opportunity where they have enough information to make a decision which is best for them. Then we actually have our customer and team enrollments, which you guys, that's the easy part. That'll take about 5 minutes. All right, that's when the real work starts to happen. And of course, the three-way calls. Three-way calls are so important to your business. For edification, it takes the selling portion out of it for you. And of course, your job, if you have an upline on the call and you connect them with somebody, is to be quiet, all right, and learn from them. I can tell you the more that this has happened in my organization, the faster we grow at an exponential rate. Now, of course, you want to spend 80% of your time above the line, especially in the beginning. Now, later on, of course, you're going to be doing more development. You're going to be doing the team training, the personal development, which is key, because who you become in this business, this business will be the master key to your success. And so you are going to have to be filling yourself, again, with incredible things. And it's amazing. The more you do, things will flow from you. So that's why it's important to be at events. Make sure that your car is Drive Time University as well. So again, 80% of your time should be spent in that ATM mode, activities that matter, income-producing activities. 20% should be down there. Now remember, if you guys are tracking that every single week, a good week, week after week after week, becomes a good month. And a good month, month after month after month, becomes a phenomenal year. And if you keep doing those activities, you'll be amazed how quickly you rise up the success ladder, all right? So the next thing we're going to want to do is, these are what I call the 4 P's of success. These are the cornerstones, I believe, to your business. I want to, as quickly as I can, I want to get people plugged in to the system, right? Let them know exactly what we have to offer. And then I want them to be paid out on their initial investment as quickly as I can. We just kind of heard from, obviously, from Eric, how important that is for people to start making money. Now, of course, some of your consumers aren't, but for any of my connectors or builders who say that they want to build a business, I'm going to go to work with them and get them paid out. And then, as quickly as you can, many of us have some bonuses involved within the first 2 weeks or so. I want to get them promoted to one of those first levels as quickly as I can as well. Because then they realize it's not just about them, that they are then starting to develop a team as well. And then praise. Let me tell you, praise is probably one of my biggest passions in this business. Because she who leaves glitter in her path will never be forgotten, okay? So you guys, babies cry for it, and young men die for it. You need to all make sure you've got a great big watering can and you are watering those new people. As adults, I think all we ever hear is what we're doing wrong. So make sure that you're telling them how good they have done on those three-way calls or getting you in front of someone. It's just so important. I've also found that, good leaders are those who can blaze a trail. But really great leaders are the ones who can inspire people to do more, have more, and become more. Because those are the ones who people will reach for. And when you encourage your people to reach for the stars, they might just bring you the moon. And so again, make this a culture of celebration in your organization. The other thing I would recommend for all of you who are going through the ranks, don't ever for a second start to be threatened by any of your people who perhaps even start to outrank you. First of all, in this business, that's called residual income, right? And I would recommend for you that you praise them and you encourage them to be more, do more, and have more than you have ever had. Just like your children. You want that for them. And again, don't be threatened. And you guys, there is enough oxygen and there is enough stage for anyone who wants to be up here, right? That's right. So when you see people in your team, at your meetings, I hope that you are raising a sound for them. Because you need to have rejoicing in other people's, joy in other people's rejoicing. Make a big deal about it, because what goes around comes around. So applaud them and make this a huge celebration in your organization. So this is a picture of me about 4 years ago. And truly, when you give a woman the chance to be her very best self, you will watch her start a movement. Have you guys seen movement makers up here this weekend? Haven't they been amazing? Just amazing. Actually, this year, during that year right there, my team exploded because we were using that success tracker as far as doing we had a program that we were going through the numbers so quickly the team was exploding. And that year, I actually increased my income by over 700,000 because we had so many people. So can you imagine if you were using that success tracker with your people and you had an army of people doing that? Can you imagine the explosion that would happen in your organization? So again, you guys, it's not what you expect to happen, it's what you inspect. Run this as if it's a huge company. My husband will often tell me, now he is a CPA, he has a master's degree in accounting, we own a large accounting firm too, and I'll always say, Deni, do you understand, honey, what you've done for literally less than a $500 investment? He'll say, honey, I love you, but this doesn't happen in the real world. People often say this is an investment when they get started in their business. I believe the investment is when you're putting in the time. Because where else could someone like me, with a PhD, a public high school diploma, and 2 years of college, become well over a 7-figure yearly earner? This industry is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, your level of education. This profession closes the age and gender gap. Ladies, I hope you know in here, in this profession, you get to lead like a woman, you get to earn like a man, and you get to know who you really are. And let me tell you, each and every one of us, we are enough, right? We are enough because I believe that there is a miracle inside each one of us. And I believe that this industry, this profession, more than anything that I've seen, allows that miracle to come to fruition. We get to believe more, we get to become more, and we get to change people's lives and become a force for good in the world. And that is what drives me every single day. The goal of network marketing is to plant a seed and water it well that will grow into a tree that will leave shade for generations, for people who will never know your name. And as I meet people literally around the world, Tom and I spent about 3 months out of the out of the country last year, I have met people, and they tell me the stories of what this, what the product has done for them, and I literally have wept in the back of the room like a little girl, thinking, because I opened my mouth. Never underestimate what your voice can do for other people. Be a movement maker. You know, when a woman stands in her truth, you simply swat the mosquitoes out of your way and you head straight towards greatness. Don't listen to the naysayers. You're going to have them. And let me tell you, every one of these women you've heard up here, don't think we haven't heard no's. We've heard more no's. And if we were to dwell on those, we would be in the back of the room in fetal position crying, right? But I am looking for people who are looking for me, right? Who are self-motivated, self-responsible, who want to make a difference in their life. During that year, before this happened, I remember being out on a run, and I was visualizing what I wanted to happen in my life. And I literally had to stop because I was so overcome with emotion. I could see myself on stage at our convention, coming across stage as a brand new diamond. I was being hugged by the founders of my company and by the people that I knew and loved and respected. And I had this moment that was so real for me. And I had to compose myself and go back on a run. But let me tell you, at that moment, I was really at one of the lowest ranks in the company. And I knew I had to have a great big audacious goal, but I had to go through every other step to get there. So I'm a huge proponent of have those big audacious goals, but always be about the next event. What's the next rank? Get there and stay there. You guys, I'm not about bubble ranks, because the first thing I'll ask you is what's your lifetime rank and what's your paid at rank? Because your paid at rank, that's really, I don't care what your lifetime rank is, because your rank is what your activity rank should be doing. And be real with other people, you guys. What I loved about this, what inspired me as a young woman, is I saw people go on stage who weren't always on stage. And I realized that I could be there too. There are peaks and valleys in anyone's career and in their organization. So again, be real with people. And I had this just amazing aha moment that I could be, do, and have anything that I put my mind to. And again, you guys, that you can make a difference for people who will never know your name, that you can help them create a financial dignity in their life that they might not be happening, and that you can be a small conduit for good that will affect so many lives that you will never, ever know. So I will tell you, who wants to know one of the great secrets to being successful? Okay. One of the first secrets is, remember, the only way to get to the top is to get off your bottom, okay? And so with that, I want all of you to be thinking for a second, what is that moment in your mind that moves you, that you want so badly, that would take your breath away? And I want you to, I'd like you to please stand up and think about that for a second, all right? And I want you to also be thinking about those women or those men who are sitting right next to you, who have those same goals and dreams and aspirations that mean so much to them. So close your eyes and think about that. And now, I want you to raise a sound for as loud as you are proud for that coming true and for your neighbor right next to you, okay? Raise a sound for as loud as you are proud. Woo! Woo! Right. Woo! Never, ever forget how proud looks and feels on you, because together as women, we are changing the world. I wish each of you all the success you believe you deserve and are willing to work for. I love you. Bye, everyone.
What a picture.